Hello friends, myself Anna Sahib Gorane, Rayat Shikshan Samsthas, RBNB College Srirampur. I am junior college teacher in physics. Now today we study the new chapter from 12th standard physics, that is the electromagnetic induction. We know the stationary charge, suppose this is the stationary charge, it produces electric field around it. There is a certain region or space around the charge, we call it as an electric field. The stationary charge produces the electric field, whereas the moving charge, we call it as a current. It produces the magnetic field. Stationary charge produces the electric field. The moving charge through the conductor, it produces the magnetic field. Scientist Oersted performed experiments, and according to scientist Oersted, if electric current is passed through the wire, the magnetic field is produced around it. If current is not there, magnetic needle near the wire remains at rest along north-south. It means there is no magnetic field. If key is closed, the current passes through the coil. The magnetic needle shows the deflection from its original position. If current flows in opposite direction by reversing the polarities of the battery, magnetic needle again shows deflection but in opposite direction. When there is no current, no deflection in the magnetic needle, it means there is no magnetic field. When current is passed, magnetic needle shows deflection towards one side. If the direction of current is reversed, the needle shows deflection towards other side. It shows this current carrying conductor produces magnetic field around it. The scientists Faraday and Henry performed some experiments, and from these experiments they come to the conclusion that changing magnetic field can also produce the electricity. The electric current can produce the magnetic field. According to Faraday and Henry, changing magnetic field can produce the electricity. Electric current is produced in a coil when there is relative motion between the coil and magnet. That is, there is a change in magnetic field, and that change in magnetic field can produce the electric current. The current produced is called induced current, and the corresponding EMF is called induced EMF. So firstly we see what is meant by magnetic flux. Magnetic flux denoted by phi. The magnetic field is represented by a magnetic lines of force. suppose this is a bar magnet. This is north pole of magnet, south pole of magnet. There is magnetic field around this magnet, and this magnetic field is represented by magnetic lines of force. Outside the magnet, magnetic lines of force starts from north pole and they ends on south pole. Outside the magnet, these magnetic lines of force starts from north pole and they ends on south pole. But inside the magnet, these lines of force from south pole to north pole, and the magnetic field is represented by these magnetic lines of force. Tangent at any point to magnetic field lines gives the direction of magnetic induction. Magnetic induction V at that point. Magnetic induction at that point, and the total number of magnetic field lines passing normally through given area. Total number of magnetic field lines passing normally through given area is called as magnetic flux, denoted by phi through that area. And this magnetic flux is given by vector B dot A. B is the magnetic induction, A is the area, or this phi is VA cos theta. Theta is angle between magnetic induction and area vector, and the unit of this magnetic flux is Weber. If theta is 0, magnetic flux phi is equal to B into A, or this magnetic induction B is magnetic flux upon area, and the unit of this magnetic induction is Weber per meter square. Weber per meter square. Now we see the coil and magnet experiment to study the electromagnetic induction. Coil and magnet experiment. Coil and magnet. Coil and magnet experiment. Suppose conducting coil is there. It is connected to a galvanometer. This is galvanometer, which detects the flow of current through the coil, and its magnet is placed near the coil. This is the magnet. Suppose this is figure 1. Here magnet and coil both are steady. Now in second case, the same coil, galvanometer is connected here, magnet is suddenly moved towards the coil. Magnet is suddenly moved towards the coil, and in third case, the same coil, galvanometer is connected to it, here magnet is suddenly moved away from the coil. This is coil and magnet experiment. Suppose this is figure 1, figure 2 and figure 3. So in these figures, in figure 1, both magnet and coil are steady. This galvanometer shows zero deflection. It means there is no current flowing through the galvanometer. In second case or in second figure, the magnet is suddenly moved towards the coil. The magnetic flux associated with the coil changes or it increases and current flows through the coil. Galvanometer shows deflection towards one side. It means current flows through the coil. And in the third figure, magnet is suddenly moved away from the coil. Magnetic flux associated with the coil decreases. Galvanometer again shows the deflection, but in opposite direction. Galvanometer shows again deflection, but in opposite direction. The same is the true if coil is suddenly moved towards the steady magnet or coil is suddenly moved away from the steady magnet. The galvanometer shows the deflection. Galvanometer does not show the deflection when both coil and magnet are steady. It shows the deflection when any one is in motion or there is a relative motion between magnet and coil. It indicates that for the production of induced current, the current here is the induced current, is there whenever there is a relative motion between coil and magnet. Either magnet is moved towards the coil or coil is moved towards the magnet. There must be relative motion between the coil and magnet. There is a change in magnetic flux, and due to this change in magnetic flux, the current is induced. Then another experiment, this is coil and magnet experiment. Now we see coil and coil experiment. Now in this experiment, there are two coils. Suppose this is coil 1. We call this coil as a primary coil. It is connected to a battery. And key, this coil is a primary coil. And there is another coil near to this primary coil. We call it as a secondary coil. This coil is a secondary coil. And galvanometer is connected to this secondary coil. Galvanometer is connected to the secondary coil. When this key is open, that is, no current flows through the primary coil. There is no current through the secondary coil also, and galvanometer shows zero deflection. But when this key is closed, the current flows through this primary coil. Also current flows through the secondary coil, and galvanometer shows sudden deflection. It indicates current flows through the galvanometer. When circuit is closed, the galvanometer shows a sudden deflection towards one side. When the circuit is broken, that is, key is made open, again galvanometer shows the deflection, but in opposite side. But when there is no current in the primary coil, galvanometer does not shows any deflection. Also, when these both coils are in motion and there is relative motion between the two coils, when this circuit is closed, induced current is produced in secondary coil as long as there is relative motion between the coils. Hence we say that induced current exists so long as there is change of current in the primary coil. Induced current exists as long as there is change in current in primary coil. It means change in magnetic flux inside the coil produces induced EMF in the coil. Direction of this induced EMF is reversed by increasing or decreasing the flux. Its direction is reversed by increasing or decreasing the flux, that is the magnetic flux. So from this coil and magnet experiment, or this coil and coil experiment, we state the definition of electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction, the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil. Induced EMF or induced current in a coil. Due to changing magnetic flux or field, due to changing magnetic flux, or we call it as a magnetic field, linked with it, is called as electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction. There is a production of induced EMF in a coil due to changing magnetic flux or magnetic field linked with it is called as electromagnetic induction. If there is no change in magnetic flux, EMF is not induced in the coil. There are Faraday's two laws of electromagnetic induction. We see these laws. Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction. Whenever there is change of magnetic flux in closed circuit, whenever there is change in magnetic flux, this word is important, change in magnetic flux. Whenever there is change in magnetic flux in closed circuit, comma, EMF is induced. EMF is induced or EMF is produced. EMF is induced in circuit. This law gives cause of induced EMF. What is the cause? That is the change in magnetic flux is the cause of induced EMF. This is a qualitative law. This law is also called as, it is a qualitative law because it gives or it indicates characteristics of induced EMF. Induced EMF is there only when there is a change in magnetic flux, or we say that this law gives the cause of induced EMF. Now we see Faraday's second law. This second law gives magnitude of induced EMF. This second law gives magnitude of induced EMF. The law states that the magnitude of induced EMF produced in circuit, the magnitude of induced EMF produced in circuit is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux linked with circuit. Rate of change of magnetic flux linked with circuit. This second law gives the magnitude of induced EMF. This law is a quantitative law as it gives the magnitude, and from this law we say that this magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux, that is directly proportional to d phi upon dt, or we say that E is equal to some constant of proportionality k, we denote it by k, into d phi by dt. If this EMF flux phi and time t are in same system of units, then this k is 1, and we write this magnitude as E is equal to d phi upon dt. Magnitude of induced EMF is d phi upon dt. Now here, if phi dash is flux for the one turn of coil, phi dash is magnetic flux for one turn of coil, then for n turns of the coil, the total flux phi is n into phi dash. Phi dash is the flux for one turn of coil. Total flux phi for n turns will be phi is equal to n into phi dash. Therefore, our this equation becomes E is equal to d upon dt of N into phi dash, or we write this as E is equal to N d phi dash upon dt. First law gives the cause of induced EMF. First law is qualitative law. It indicates the characteristics of induced EMF. Faraday's second law gives the magnitude of induced EMF. The law is the quantitative law because it gives the magnitude. So these are the two Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, today we stop here.